Boom, 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 ba-da-boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. Hello and welcome to Odyssey of Eternity. I'm DM Kenneth, and this is, well, we're playing some Powerwash Simulator again. Our good friend Josh will be here shortly. So we're just going to start making our way a little bit, cleaning up more of the town. So, for those of you who do not know, we are streaming tonight as well. We are going to be doing our midweek Midgard. I apologize. My lungs are not doing great today, so if I'm coughing a bit or have to mute myself, I apologize in advance for that. But super excited to continue this. Doing a pretty good job. 89% clean at this point. So we're just going to get some work done while we're waiting for Josh to get in. Boom, 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 ba da ba da ba da ba da boom. Just sort of an impromptu stream. Don't have enough coffee in me, but I'm working on it. Boom, boom, boom. Ba-da, ba-da, boom, ba-boom. See if we can't get the best one today. The best power washer. Boom, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Cool, cool. There's that. That. This game is immensely satisfying for reasons I cannot say. I just don't understand it. But, you know, it is what it is. And it's amusing. Work on getting this top side clean. I love when I can use the larger nozzles for doing what I need to do. Definitely helps out. Oh, by the way, I gotta turn on my co-op on. Oop. Come on. We're going to turn on crossplay, turn that on so when Josh gets in here, he can just jump right in. Get myself some more coffee. Do I have the... Put the long extension on, make sure that's there. Howdy. How goes it today?
Pretty good.
Good. Whenever you're ready, let me know and I'll send you the invite. Or the room code.
Just I'm just waiting for my computer to finish turning itself on.
You're good. So how are you doing today?
Hmm?
But how are you doing today?
I'm good. A little tired. Just woke up, but
Woke up to at about 9 today, and Loki was demanding food for like an hour, and I just sort of was ignoring him for like an hour.
yeah.
And be like, you let me sleep in, cat. One day.
No, I won't.
You will have your food as soon as I wake. It will not be forever.
All right, I am ready. What's your code?
Alright, the invite code is 137 6571.
Joining.
Cool. I'm on the lower deck right now working on that, so
It's still getting me in.
I'm excited for
Oh,
Midgard tonight.
so am I.
I got a cool plan for tonight. Because luckily we took a bit more time with what I thought was going to be last session. So I still have a lot of prep stuff from last session that I still have ready to go. Saves me a bunch of time. Like, I was not expecting the you guys to really interact with that festival. That's on me.
Yeah.
Don't know why I didn't. Which is why I had to come up with games on the spot.
Mine with axe throwing was like, I figure there's most definitely going to be axe throwing here, and that is a very easy thing.
Oh yeah. Though that's also on me for trying to prep a game with like 40% mental capacity. Because I was not in a good place last week. Doing a lot better now, but
That's good. Sorry, I didn't mean to push you there.
no, you're good. There we go. I love it when a plan comes together.
All right, Hannibal.
It's great because you got like all the outsides of these railings
That's why I did it.
already, so I don't have to worry about hardly anything. There's that deck.
This table is so annoying.
It's a really dirty table.
Well, it's also that the dirt is really on there.
Yeah.
So I basically have to use the straight or turbo nozzle. Except on the other underside. The underside I can get very easily with the wide.
Why is this one railing so much dirtier than the others?
Oh.
Like, I have to, like, legitimately use a better nozzle now, because I was able to use the white on all the rest of them. This one's, like, actually needing some more attention to detail. 94% though. We made good time on this one.
Mm-hmm. We got through this one fast, all things considered. Still took us quite a bit of time, just not a horrible amount.
Having two people makes this game so much more enjoyable.
Yes, it does. Still fun to play on your own, but
Oh, it's a good time killer.
yeah.
So this game is one of like the best time killers I think I've played in a while. It's like we never left. Yes. Welcome, Moros. Welcome to the chat.
Hello.
Good to see you today. Aha! I love when you still have a sizable amount of dirt left, and it's just like, no, you're clean now. You're done with this.
It's like, it's good enough. It just cleans the rest of it for you.
How are you doing today?
I wish it would do that with this stupid table.
We're going to put the short extension. Nice. Glad to see you just hanging out.
I got the table, finally.
This gorilla's obnoxious.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of rust on it.
Oh. You know, Epapos would never burn the carnival to the ground intentionally. Stop. Notifications. Stop. Go. There we go. I will call my cousin later. It's a thank you for letting me know again. It's her birthday.
Well, happy birthday to your cousin.
Yeah, Jasmine. I doubt you're watching this, but happy birthday, Jasmine. This barbecue drum is gonna be the death of me. I see like where it's rusted. There we go. And I just couldn't get to it. Alright, what do we got left? Barbecue drum. Side table you're working on. Gas bottles.
Currently working on those two.
Window frames and staircase handrails. Ah, these staircases have not been touched. Why do I have Raiders of the Lost Ark stuck in my head while power washing?
Mm.
I haven't even seen that movie in years.
What is still dirty on the side table?
That's one thing that I know Kelly's been wanting to get going in the channel is watch parties, and we can absolutely do it in Discord, which I thought would be a cool... Like, hey, there's just a movie night with the mods or something like that, or whoever wants to join in. See, that's my problem with a lot of movies and media and stuff like that, is I don't like to rewatch things usually, because unless it's like phenomenally good, because my attention span is not that. And I remember a lot of I have a really good memory when it comes to dumb information that entertains me. Like, that's why I have an oddly encyclopedic knowledge of both D&D mechanics and Pokemon mechanics. Because my brain has just latched onto that as useful information.
I got the window frame. That was
Cool.
dirty.
It looks like we were missing the bottoms of these steps here. Oh, that was quick. I'm gonna jump. Yep. There we go. Ah. I get the bottom side this time.
Mm-hmm.
Put the... I totally get that. Moros, I really do. Let's see. For me, it's like a time thing, and it's one of the reasons why, like, I hate sleeping so much. It isn't because I don't value it. I don't value the time spent doing it. It's that just my brain is like, you can be doing so much more. You need to catch up with your backlog. You need to do this, this, and this. Like, holy shit, no, this is like cleaning this so fast. Which is like why, like, I've always, my entire life, I've fought going to bed. Which, not the greatest thing for me, but, you know, just a constant sort of battle with insomnia my entire life. But I think that comes with the ADHD and how my personal one presents itself.
I feel that I definitely have bouts of insomnia. Considering just last night I didn't go to sleep until like 4 in the morning. Nothing I could do about it. I was just sit awake.
See, I got these sleep headphones, and they have been a game changer for me. These things, I picked them up for like $17. It takes 2 hours to charge, and they last 9 hours on full blast. But these things, I tell you what, I'm actually able to fall asleep quickly now. And when I mean quickly, I mean within a half hour. Usually I'm sitting there for like 2 hours in bed trying to fall asleep. And I just can't. See, I'm right there with you. I love dreaming. I love dreams. It's just I hate the process of sleeping. Because I have always had very vivid dreams my entire life. And that's something I've always been very grateful for, because dreams are fun. Middle deck railing, middle deck rim joists. What are the rim joists?
Up where I'm currently cleaning.
Middle deck rim joists. Where are those? What are those?
It's the outside rim.
That one is clean. Clean. I am confuzzled. See, my cat, Loki, he's been really super snuggly lately, which I've absolutely been loving. However, it's only ever during the daytime. And he'll just, like, cuddle right up onto me and assume his place. I'm trying to highlight it to either, but it won't let me highlight it.
It's the one right by the tree.
Cool. Thank you. Now we're done with this
a
job.
Little like semicircle around the tree.
These are always so satisfying to see all of these.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna shrink this a bit. There we go. All right, continue. I got $3,385. Now we have the temple. Loki is about 7 or 8 at this point.
Why am I not able to use my extra long extension? What?
I have the extra long extension.
Why is it also using my weakest? That was weird. It wasn't using my Prime Vista 3000. It was using the Prime Vista 1500. But you know, I want the Urban. The Urban is the best one.
Yeah, Loki is he is a middle-aged baby, but yes, he is a baby nonetheless.
Things might be going even faster for us now, because now I'm using my. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's the stuff. That's the fast washing with the green nozzle that I love to see. Yeah, you're gonna love being able to use the Urban X.
That's what I'm like. I'm 1,500 or 1,700 away.
Yesterday, I think I got them mixed up and I was using the middle of the road one.
So you're using the one I'm using.
No, now I'm using the Urban. I'm using the Urban X.
Ba, ba, ba.
I tell you what, there's definitely a difference.
I can
For
imagine,
instance, well, for instance, a lot of the stuff that I would normally be like, oh, I need the yellow one for this. Well, now I'm getting it with the green.
see, that's my favorite thing when you have that good.
Good clean with the whiter.
Ba, 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 da, ba, 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 da, ba. How old is your cat, Morris? "13. Oh wow.
I used to have cats.
I I love having cats, and the more I have cats, the less I want dogs.
I want cats again. Because I'll be honest, the more dogs my parents get, the more cats I want.
See, a good dog can't be beat, but dogs are. You have to micromanage a dog. Where cats micromanage you.
Yeah, that's actually a very good statement for cats.
Like, I'd much rather. I love my cats. I've loved the dogs I've had. Like, my dog Cinder, I had a boxer growing up. Absolutely, hands down, best dog I've ever had. However, and I love them to death, my parents' shepherds that they have are the reason I don't like dogs currently.
Yeah, your parents' shepherds are really something.
They're very high energy dogs that unfortunately don't get
The maintenance for their high energy that they need.
yeah.
Because your parents can't really do that.
But those dogs are also getting old too, so their energy levels have been going down and they've been a lot more manageable.
That's good.
But
Well, that's nice at the very least. I shouldn't say good necessarily. It's nice that they're
yeah.
being a little bit more chill for your parents.
See, I really want if I was to get another dog, I would want to get a Saint Bernard. I love how doofy they are. I love how big they are, and they look like a giant cuddle cloud.
That's fair.
See, that's how I feel with my dog Cinder Moros is. That was literally one of the best dogs I've ever had, and she set the bar so astronomically high that I don't know if I could ever go back because Cinder, she got in trouble one time in her entire life. And unfortunately, with boxers are a breed that they're a heartbreak dog. Every boxer dies of cancer. unless something
They're more prone to it,
unnatural
aren't they?
intervenes. It's a breed. It's a breed flaw. It's due to overbreeding, stuff like that. The chance of a boxer getting cancer is almost 100% sometime in its life. And that's unfortunately what happened with Cinder. Is she ended up getting cancer. It was very sudden, very rapid, and very tragic. And since then, like I haven't been able to feel a connection with a dog really since. Like, yeah, they're cute, yeah, they're awesome. I miss Cinder, but I'll take my cats. And, and cats, you get a good, if you're good to them, usually on average around 12 years if they're or not 12, 20 years if they're an indoor cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, our cats that we had lasted 16 to 18 years, I think. Can't remember if it was 16 or 18.
Yeah, every cat that I've owned has always, well, except for one, but yet again that was another cancer issue, has made it to 20 to 25.
Yeah, our cats just started to have trouble regulating their bladder. They would just pee everywhere. It wasn't their fault. It was just like they literally can't do anything about it. We're like,
Yeah.
this is we can't. Your what is
Well, the quality of life is.
quality of life is like not what it should be, and we don't want that for you. One of them was going blind and deaf. They had to stay in our basement so they didn't pee all over our house. So, it was like, we don't want this for you.
Yeah. Oh, and yes, Moros boxers are some of the sweetest dogs. I love their flat little faces. I just realized 5th edition doesn't have any dog folk.
No, it does not.
They have 2 or 3 different types of cat folks between the Leonin, the Shifters, Tabaxi.
Well, the shifters aren't necessarily just cats.
No, the Shifters sort of cover most.
There's some different ones too. They have like a rabbit, and they have canine, I think.
Yeah, but not dedicated.
No, it is not dedicated. Definitely not.
In a desperate act, the head monk sent them all out on a pilgrimage of faith.
Would have been interesting if I had made Kismet a shifter.
Are you trying to say something there, Moros? That I'd unalive a dog? Granted, I did turn your dog undead. I didn't technically unalive it.
That wasn't my fault.
Where is the last bit of dirt on this window frame? Ah, there it is.
Oh, there was some on the sides too. I'm handling the front at the moment.
Yep, I figured that's why I seen you start up there, so I'm like, I'm gonna head to the back.
Well, I did start to work on like the bottom all the way around, and then I'm like, well, but the buttresses you have to like do the entire thing up to the roof, and I'll just start with the front.
See, that's where I was at. I was starting doing the baseboards, and I almost literally the same mindset. But wait a minute.
Like, if I have to do this, I may as well just do the side. And if I'm doing the side, I may as well just start with the front, like I was doing.
See, I'm excited for Friday's campaign, or not Fridays, Thursdays, if Aaron joins that one.
Yeah?
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing for Tuesday. I did have someone ask me if I could run a game on Tuesdays at the same time that we're normally. However, I'm looking at doing... I think I'm going to do a micro campaign right away, or first and foremost, of Cyberpunk on Tuesdays for a little bit before going into, I think, a full homebrew.
I definitely want to be part of both of those.
And in talking to like Jask and stuff like that and other DMs on Start Playing, I definitely, if I'm doing a full homebrew, everything is mine own creation, I'm putting the price up a bit on it. But that's...
That is understandable. That is your own work.
Yeah. It wouldn't be much more. I think I'd only go...
Just about...
So Sunday, I'm not exactly sure yet. I'm going to put the poll up today for what we want to do. I do want to, if it is possible, I do want to run some people through some modules or something after that. If they have anything else they would like to do as a group. But as far as Sossel goes, I'm starting to get a little where I'm running out of things to do in Sossel in my headspace. My creative juices are no longer, or the muse is no longer singing Sossel's tune for me, and which is a bit of a shame. But I do really like the characters. I do like what's going on here, and I do want to see where we can go. Yeah, so I think it's definitely time to leave Sossel. If anything, I might, for a hot minute, run like I'm doing with Tomb, a small mini campaign of something after the characters are resolved with last minute or last things that they'd like to do as a team or whatnot, or adventure. I'm not sure what system I might do for that. I really think Bunkers and Badasses might be a fun one to do. The Borderlands, just for like a month, and then go back into 5th edition. But I'm not sure yet. I haven't really figured out what I want to do yet for that one, but I need to start figuring out soon. I might run a different hardcover, just because I've been trying to make it my goal is to run through all published hardcovers for 5th edition. As Chad is definitely watching me fail trying to jump onto a roof.
Yeah, it's okay.
Times.
I'm just happy that chat can't watch me right now. It's like the anxiety of being dangerously close to the edge of the roof.
Yeah. Spelljammer is one that I really want to run. The more I look at it, the more I like it. But I don't like the Spelljammer material they put out for 5th edition fully, so I would be doing my own Spelljammer adventure because that sounds like it would be fun. Honestly, I might do a Spelljammer for Sundays. That sounds actually really fun. Yeah, go for it. Man, this is just satisfying to uncover the things.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing about this game is it's satisfying. It scratches that itch. I just fell off the roof.
Don't do that. So Spelljammer would be interesting because
That is not where I put that.
I've never gone into a Spelljammer situation. I've had a couple people go into the Spelljammer, just due to the fact of like crossovers and stuff like that, and adventures. Like Kothar has been spelljamming, not intentionally, and he didn't know what the hell he was doing the entire time. That was also the epic that we had that everyone was drunk and we didn't have but 20 intelligence between an entire party. Maybe 16, actually, if I'm being honest.
I don't think I was at that table.
That was the one where Aaron got astronomically drunk and ate the black garlic.
Yeah, I was not at that table.
Yeah, I think that was at the ZegeCon. It was...
I don't think I was at that ZegeCon. Being honest, I've only been to one ZegeCon.
That's the one thing I want to come back so bad.
Yeah.
But now that I'm having a child, probably unavailable to go now.
Yeah.
So you DM Spelljammer, Moros? Yeah, at least till I get to stroller years.
You need to go up the side of the building to get to the front of the top. The top of the front. That's what I meant to say. Not the front. Not. You know what? I'm just gonna stop while I'm ahead. Apparently, I really need like coffee. Though I heard somewhere that you should wait like 90 minutes after waking up to drink coffee, and it will prevent you from. Yeah, and it'll prevent you from crashing as hard.
Huh.
Is something about the, because all coffee does is block the protein that makes you tired from
Yeah. From activating.
from activating. So if you wait 90 minutes, some of them will activate the normal amount that you would have waking up to, you know, have your body function.
Yeah, it
And
makes
if you
sense.
wait for that to happen, your crash will not be as hard later on.
Okay.
Because instead of, like, it wearing off and all of a sudden all these things are now happening, it wears off, and then a little bit later, more of
I mean, it
that
makes
starts to happen.
sense.
Or something of that sort. I've been doing kind of a little test about it. I'm like, this is actually kind of working. I don't know if it's actual science or just like a placebo effect, but
Yeah, who knows? If you're feeling better, that's all that really matters.
if it's working, I don't care.
See, anymore, it takes about 90 minutes for my coffee maker to even make the coffee, so, like...
Yeah, I have a Keurig, so mine takes like a minute.
We actually got rid of our Keurig just because the water in our park.
Yeah, I think
We
you
were
were telling me
going through
about
so
that.
many. But next time you come over, if you want some K-Cups, we have like still about half a box of K-Cups that we're not going to use.
Maybe. Depends on what kind of coffee.
They're the Meyer brand, so the Fredericks, but it's really good coffee.
Yeah, I'll have to see. I'm particular about my coffee. So anytime that I have coffee at your house, it's always good. I don't know what coffee you're using, but...
Well, except for that one time.
What time was that?
I think it was when Pokemon, because I was going to go teach Em how to swim on our way out, and you're like, no offense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that time I don't think the coffee was as good that time.
And that's okay, it happens.
I don't know why it wasn't as good. It just wasn't that great.
I think we had different creamer that day.
Oh, you know what? That might have been what it was.
Than we normally get. She does.
Keep falling off the roof. That's it. I'm using this.
Go for it. I'm sort of done with it. For the time being. It's a fantastic skill to have. I've always loved to swim. I never was good at it until I worked at a summer camp the one time, and so they're sitting there. This is the first year the summer camp's been open in 75 years. It was Boy Scout Camp Tatanka, one of the oldest summer camps in America for the Boy Scouts. And
I remember hearing about that summer camp all the time.
Oh God, it was so it was an experience working there. We did 16-hour days minimum to get the camp started, and that was before the scouts were there or the campers were there. And then I got paid. We calculated it out. I got paid 32 cents an hour while working there.
That's awful.
It really was. Our running joke was the BSA existed before child labor laws, and so they were able to get away with that. But it was a fantastic experience, and I still would do it again in a heartbeat, just for the friends that I made from it. Where was I going with this story? Oh, swimming. So... we're sitting there the first week. We're trying to establish who gets what jobs, at the camp because they didn't hire lifeguards or like dedicated lifeguards, dedicated cooks, dedicated this, that, or the other thing. They just hired Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and they're like, all right, we're gonna figure this out the week of. So they're like, okay, so everyone raise your hand if you can sort of swim. So I raised my hand. I was okay at it, but I would never go out of my way at that time and said I was good at it. They're like, okay, who's really good at swimming? A couple people raised their hand. Okay, who can't swim at all? Some people raised their hand. He's like, okay, the people that can sort of swim, I need you to raise your hand again. So I raised my hand again, and they're like, all right, you, and you. And he chose completely out of the people that could sort of swim to be lifeguards for this place. And so I got trained and certified as a lifeguard for a while. And I had my lifeguard certification. I kept that up for a few years. But talk about the most boring job I've ever had in my life was just sitting there in a lake that was 3 feet deep at the deepest.
So
And
what you're saying is you never had to swim at all. You literally just walk out there.
Literally, well, that was the thing, is the first thing they taught us, too, was to just say, hey, stand up. If someone was drowning in this lake.
Mm-hmm.
But then we weren't allowed to talk for the entirety of of our shift. We had to just sit there, look stoic, and watch the kids have fun while we're sitting there burning.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that
Push
part.
the gnome over.
Whoa,
I pushed
what
the
the?
gnome over.
You just hit me in the face with the gnome.
You're welcome.
But getting certified as a BSA lifeguard for a while, it did have its perks. My troop, when I came back that summer, I never had to pay for another water-based camping trip because I was the only certified lifeguard in our troop. So the troop
Nice.
paid for my...
They paid for you to go to be our lifeguard piece.
Yes, because they had to maintain a minimum safety balance. So it was one of those things that was just like, hey, it had some perks to it, but I was much more. My favorite job that I had at that, or position I had at that job was I was the head of the astronomy department that was there, and so I was in charge of leading night hikes with the kids to go see and find the best spots to see all the stars.
Yeah.
And for me, that was super
Stargazing.
cool. Because I've always had my head in the clouds, head in the stars.
I love stargazing. I love the stars.
To the point where I've gone out of my way, like in college, Eastern has a very large Astrodome that most kids take the class because they're fully reclinable chairs and you can fall asleep in the class easily. I took it because I actually genuinely like space. But no, so that astronomy one, it was cool because...
To quote one of my favorite YouTubers, Markiplier, space is so cool.
See, diving was always my favorite thing that I did. I never did any of the swim team stuff. Looking back, I probably should have, because I did enjoy it. Oh, the fancy dives? Yeah. See, I love the water. Me and Em really want to get a membership at the local pool that they have. They have a family plan that we'd be able to go almost as much as we'd like. Where is this last bit of dirt on this wood trim? Well, there was some of it. Aha! Boom, 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 boom.
I can probably, yep, I can use the green.
Well, I'll leave you up on the roof then if you're doing that.
Yeah, you know. I just figure if I can use the green one to get rid of this dirt, I may as well.
Yeah, go for it. I'm stuck in using my yellow here at this house, but
You'll get to the Urban X soon.
oh, I'm getting very close. I have the requirements to be able to get it. I just need the money.
That is the very top finished, which is very nice because it is not easy. I'm gonna start working on the other side. Work my way down.
I keep getting all of these freaking songs stuck in my head while doing this today. Literally, I've watched it maybe twice in my entire life. I just got Annie's Tomorrow stuck in my head.
The sun'll come out. Tomato. Used to watch that movie all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not anymore, but I don't know why. I just don't as much. Haven't seen it in a few years.
I mean, I've gone to go see the play a few times. I remember going to a school field trip to go see it.
Yeah. It's not a bad movie or anything like that.
No, it's not. Not at all.
It's quite good.
Did you realize that's Ashley Johnson?
Not for a long time.
Someone just told me that, and that blew my mind.
Like, not for a long time did I realize that was Ashley Johnson.
It's funny, out of all of the cast of Critical Role, she's probably, as far as what the average person would know, she's probably the more famous out of all of them.
Correct. Of what?
As far as like video game people?
Taking an average of every person nowadays, yes, she is the most recognizable, probably.
As far as
a lot of people would not recognize the others through video games or anime because of age differences and how recent popularity things have gotten and all that jazz.
Like I'd say as far as like the nerd community goes, Laura Bailey would be the most famous, followed by
Matt. Laura Bailey, then Matt, and then Travis.
Yeah, Travis has been coming up lately.
I would also give it then to, I don't know if I could separate Taliesin and Liam.
I've never heard of either of them until Critical Role, if I'm being honest.
So I didn't know their names, but I knew their voices. Like, going back after watching Critical Role to some games, I'm like, oh yeah, that is like some games that I knew, like Darksiders.
Yeah.
Like War is Liam.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I had watched someone play through Darksiders, and then I went back and watched that Let's Play again. I'm like, oh, that's Liam playing War.
Darksiders is a better Legend of Zelda than Legend of Zelda will ever be.
Correct.
And that's saying
Except they
something
could
from
do
you
better.
to admit that.
Oh yeah, no, I'll admit it. Are you kidding me? A freaking Star Fox Adventures is a better Legend of Zelda game than Legend of Zelda. Are you kidding me?
That's a blast to the past that I haven't heard in a while. That was a great game.
Oh, it was a fantastic game.
I miss Star Fox.
I miss what they did with Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah.
Because it was genuinely super fun. And a nice, different take on Star Fox. Instead of these, like, arcade-style, railroad tracked shoot-'ems. I don't like that style of game.
Yeah, no, Star Fox Adventures was great. I don't know why they abandoned it. Probably because they were responsible for the awakening of quite a lot of individuals.
Yes. Look, Crystal, they made Crystal way too hot. And they know what they did. And I'm not ashamed to admit that Crystal is hot. Because she's hot. I am not ashamed to admit that.
This is as far down this rabbit hole I'm willing to go on the channel.
Moving on.
Oh, you got that right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a ladder right here. Cool. That was the other one.
I don't know what was said. What was said?
Robin Hood.
Oh, the Disney's Robin Hood. Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair statement. That's very true.
When Pixar's been getting into the game lately with all of their animals.
One of the most recent ones is probably Zootopia.
Yep. Come on. There we go. Ah. I am not proficient in ladders.
Well, spend the downtime and get proficient.
That would be the funniest thing. You're playing like a long-form campaign and you just ask the DM, I'd like to gain proficiency in ladders, please.
Mm-hmm.
It would be even funnier, though, if your character was a centaur.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to not take the negative *4 movement multiplier when I'm going up ladders, sir.
Oh my god, mention that to Beep.
Oh,
for her centaur on today.
I'm not gonna mention it. There's just gonna be a ladder.
You're just gonna add a whole bunch of ladders, aren't you?
No.
A whole bunch of unnecessary ladders.
Alright, go for it, Moros.
Don't you bully Beep.
I'm not bullying Beep. Just a character.
Honestly, with Beep's character, I think she would make a joke out of it anyway.
Oh yeah, 100%. I love the characters in the Midgard right now.
Yeah. I like that Ash and I's characters already have lore that I really
Yeah.
need to finish writing my backstory.
Man, this one feels like it's taken longer than the the treehouse.
It's not. It's actually going faster. We spent a good, like, hour and a half, 2 hours maybe on the treehouse.
Fair.
We spent some time on it. No, try it back.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna need
Ow.
that. Maybe. They meet Strahd's horse. Now that's funny. That's really funny. Not gonna lie, my goal for Curse of Strahd is to morally corrupt as many characters as I can before the ending of it. Mainly the holy characters. I want to see how far their character can be pushed before they either double down on their absolutes or they snap. Because those are the type of stories that I find to be the most interesting. Is how far can the emotion, or how far can someone who has such strict morals and beliefs, how far can they be pushed until some situation comes up that it would be morally wrong to stick with their ideals. Like, and we already
It's a very Strahd thing to do.
And we've already proven this a little bit in the Death House with Cassie sacrificing herself, and then having Cedric be the one to sacrifice her on that altar. Happened a bit faster than I wanted it to. They just sort of jumped on that sword. So definitely dealing with some martyrdom symptoms with this, but it'll be interesting to see where it all goes. Right? Like, hey, I'm just gonna damn another holy man to do this dark ritual on this altar, and then have to have him live with killing what was becoming a very fast friendship between the two of them. Like, hey, I've known you like a day and a half. Can you just kill me? Can you sacrifice me in the name of saving the party? This is like driving me nuts because I have to keep switching between my long and short. For things on this house.
It's not a house, it's a temple, Ken. Get it right.
Well, yeah, you're right. That wasn't very cash money of me, I apologize.
How dare you not be cash money all the time? Rude, Ken. You're a Twitch streamer now. Don't you know you always have to be cash money now?
Right? Even though I don't make that cash money.
You don't make the Mr. Beast bucks.
Not many people do.
Nope.
See, Cassie seems to be... I think I might have hit Cassie's limit with the making her undead with the corruption that has happened. Cassie seems to definitely be taking that at... I don't want to say stride, but... like, that seems to be definitely causing some strife with the character. To as where now there's a clear goal with that character to get rid of that. Damn, we're already at 96%. I think my side is... Oh, no, figurehead. Figurehead is good.
Mine's getting there. I'm almost done.
That's not wrong. That's actually really funny. Moros. Why is it not highlighting the things I...
Oops. I fell down.
Cool. Cool. Bada bing, bing bada boom. So I always thought it was funny. So you have a party of people, right? Clean the
Mm-hmm.
washroom. So you have an entire party of people. Everyone thinks that they're level one adventurers, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's
One
this
person
one.
one person is a max level adventurer, and they only use what they can that they'd have at like the level one, like just to sort of they hold back their swings
Yeah.
in case unless the party starts getting really upset, like really just in the shit.
Mm. Can I pause you for a minute?
Yeah,
I gotta go to the bathroom really bad.
yeah, go for it.
So I will be back. And I will also be back with coughing.
I think I'm gonna have to use the stubby here. Right. Uh, See, I just love the idea of just having that super high level adventurer with the party, and he's just there, or he or she is just there to babysit, or to make sure the new party members don't just get one shot when they go to fight something, and like they have like limits, like hey, I'm not allowed to do this, this, and this, or show that I'm a high level adventurer, unless X, Y, and Z happens. And I'd be curious to see almost how long it would take for the party to realize that this character is like stupidly overpowered for what they're doing. So much muck in this place. Muck, muck, muck. Muck, muck, muck. Muck, 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 muck. Da, 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 da. Look at that, look at that. Clean in circles, clean in circles, do 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 do. There we go. Now move back over to this side. Just clean as I go. Someone's leaving footprints in the dirt. How dare they? Josh. Or the other thing that would make me laugh is you do something similar to that. However, you have a 20th level adventurer, right? But they have amnesia, or they've been put under a spell that locks their power. However, they have the health of a 20th level adventurer, but they gain all of their stuff back as they grow with the party. Wait, this guy wants to use this space for something else? See, I haven't really paid any attention to if there was a story in this game. I've just been cleaning. I've just sort of been zoning out with it. So there might be an absolutely killer story with this. I know they're always sending you texts and stuff like that. Usually I will giggle at some of them, but oh, he wants to use it as a nightclub? The fact that this is a nightclub and this bathroom has gotten this dirty before, without the health inspector closing them down, bit of a mystery to me. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Have returned with coffee.
Welcome back. I've just been plugging away. I got 14% already.
Nice.
Moros is telling me that this is supposed to be a nightclub once we're done.
Interesting.
It was a spa place. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it was around this point that I stopped kind of paying attention to the texts and the lore.
I didn't even realize there was like a story going on until you guys started talking about it. Being honest.
As much of a story as a power washing game can have.
Yeah. The firing, or changing the fire stance is so nice in this one.
Yeah, being able to free aim.
I'm able to get so much more. And the green one is able to get 90% of everything here so far, so which has been fantastic.
You know what that means? I can use my white. No, I can't.
No?
I tried using it and nope. Literally, I like did the highlight and sprayed a bit, and it's like I know I'm spraying there, but it is not showing it when I highlight. Come on, I'm trying to get to the top of the.
In
Okay.
order to redress the scales of justice, you are required back at the carnival. What? Oh
Is that a
god.
text you just got?
Yeah, enter the main room where each of the sinks is converted into a drink dispenser. Gross.
Really? That's what the. Oh.
Speakers built into the floor hit you up to the deepest bass beats from your toes up. Oh god, Moros, it's getting worse than I thought. I don't even want to know what the urinals are for. Last time I was playing this game, we were binging Supernatural. That going in the back. I was going between this one and Gears of War. Which, still, by the way, has no right to have as emotional of a story as it does in a shooter.
Let's not talk about it.
Hashtag still not sorry for not warning you. Have you played the previous ones?
No. I watched my uncle play one of them when I was younger, and it was one where he got eaten by a giant worm, and I got very scared by it. Because I was like 7.
Yeah, that was a really good one. There's rumors right now of how like they have the Master Chief Collection doing the Marcus Phoenix Collection.
I'd play it.
And oh, 100%. I get that in a heartbeat. Just because it's such a
Just
good
like
franchise, and I'd like to see the
just
old
like
ones
I
remastered.
just like I play the Master Chief Collection. I love the Halo Master Chief Collection. I have a new appreciation for Halo Reach.
Yeah.
Like, I always used to say that Halo 3 was my favorite, and Halo 3 is the best. I still think Halo 3 is very good, but Halo Reach.
Reach was really good. ODST was my favorite, actually, out of all of them.
I do have a pretty good appreciation for ODST as well. What I also like with ODST is they gave a story to a character who was then returned in Halo 4, was it?
Oh, Buck.
As a Spartan. Yeah. Buck went from an ODST to being a Spartan in Halo 4.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm glad that they remembered that character and did something with him. Where it's
That's
like,
because they probably still had Nathan Fillion on contract, and they had to try figuring something out for him.
I mean, yes, that's fine, but I'm still glad they did it. You know?
Oh yeah, no, he's literally one of my favorite characters in the franchise.
Buck is fantastic, and he's hilarious.
Oh yeah. Well, that also leads to Nathan Fillion's acting prowess.
Yeah.
Like that man is just a funny person to begin with. Oh, are you gonna be like with this with the rust? I'm just using my stubby one for all of this stuff just because I don't have the reach.
That's fair. The stubby one works here because it's such close quarters.
Yeah.
I usually stick for like these kind of ones, stubby and short. God, it was such a good addition for this free aim mode. Because I believe I played originally when there wasn't this mode.
There wasn't a free aim mode originally.
I don't think so. Either that or no one knew about it.
That would be awful.
Because like I didn't know about it because I couldn't read all of the controls before
Yeah.
continuing.
By the way, Moros, Bioshock Infinite, just the whole Bioshock series, talk about a fantastic set of games.
Oh yeah, I love Bioshock.
Hands down, those are one of the games I go back to frequently and play. Bioshock Infinite was fantastic. It had no right being.
I will acknowledge it is a good game. I didn't like it as much, but I think it's because I've always looked at it as a Bioshock game, and I've been comparing it to the Bioshock games, when it's like, it's a bit different than the Bioshock games. Like, it's the same concept.
It's a different animal.
It's different, yeah.
See, honestly, I'm one of those weird people that really enjoyed Bioshock 2, where you played the Big Daddy.
That one was super fun.
I love the multiplayer in that game.
There's multiplayer in that game?
Not anymore because it got shut down, but there was a PvP mode in there where you all played splicers. And it was some of the funnest multiplayer I've ever had. They had some very... they had some of the most unique gameplay modes, too.
Should do more multiplayer game streams on the channel.
Yeah. That I do. I need to figure out... I'd love to get into some games that we can all play as a channel.
It'd be fun to play some of the Among Us stuff. I know it's cliche because everyone's doing Among Us, but it's a decent game. And with some of the stuff for it, like the Town of Us mod or the Town of Us mode. And I've heard that the hide and seek mode is very funny and fun.
Emily loves Among Us. She plays that all the time.
Also playing some games like Poppy's Playtime.
I've never even heard of that one.
You've never heard of Poppy's Playtime?
No.
You should look it up. The single-player game of Poppy's Playtime is a horror game. The multiplayer one is based off of that, where a bunch of people... It's kind of like a Dead by Daylight kind of aspect to it, where one person is playing as one of the monster characters and stopping the other people from completing their objective. In very base terms. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks super fun. super terrifying, but super fun.
So you know what game I'm...
super terrifying if the monster is played the right way.
See, you know what I'm very upset about in regards to, like, you're saying, like, the monster stuff?
Mm.
Evolve. That
Oh,
game, I fucking loved that game. That
it was
is...
so good, and it just died immediately.
I would put that game in my top 5 games I've ever played.
It was super fun.
Well, the thing is it was fucking IGN. IGN shut that game down because their reviewer did not like the game. And so they put bad reviews about it, and everyone else jumped on the bandwagon because IGN must know what they're talking about.
Yeah, IGN doesn't know shit.
Anymore, if IGN puts out a bad review for a game, I buy the game.
Yeah, because IGN is dumb. IGN
But
has one person play the game to review it, and they don't even pick someone who likes that kind of game. They're just like, this
yeah,
random schmuck.
like
It's like choose a reviewer who's actually going to possibly enjoy the game. Don't damn it from the start.
yeah, like for the Evolve one too, they even turned it free to play on the PC, and the free to play aspect of Evolve, they had single-handedly the greatest game when they turned it free to play.
Yeah.
They had it where there was so many really cool mechanics. They were giving variants on all the heroes, and then they had a solid month and a half where they went from 50,000 players like worldwide in a week to they were over 5 million players at any given time that was logged in.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a month, they're just like, we're done with this. We're shutting down the servers, starting effective like tomorrow, and thank you for playing our game. Goodbye, have a good life. And then it just sort of died, and it was it was the coolest concept of a game. Like,
it's all because they couldn't make any money off of it anymore, and they're like, we can't do this. I'm pretty sure it's because they couldn't support having the server on. Because it's like we can't pay for this server to be on.
Yeah. No, I can see that. See, you can still play the game locally. So you have to literally LAN party the Xboxes to play it with people anymore, or your system. There are some mods that you can play player to player, but they're not the easiest things to do. But I would love to get that and get a server game of like Evolve going.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Me as the Kraken, though, I was in the top 2 percentile of Kraken players. I did not lose if I was Kraken. I was the reason people said the Kraken was broken.
And you're not ashamed of it?
No. No, because I figured out how to play that thing. Like, I could end the game consistently as the Kraken within 2 minutes.
I'm trying to think of some other fun multiplayer games. I mean, obviously, like, Halo multiplayer and stuff like that. That would be fun.
I'd like to get some Battlefield going, or the one that I would like actually coming up soon is Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm. That would be super fun. Just having a whole party of people.
We can do 4-player Monster Hunter. Actually, I might actually start putting sign-ups in the Discord for that. That way, if anyone wants to do Monster Hunter stream on the 20th when it comes out.
I would, but I'm not going to be able to afford that.
It's
That
on
game.
Game Pass.
Oh, it's on Game Pass? Oh, sign me up.
Yeah, so if you're playing on, I don't know if it's going to be. Do you have Game Pass Ultimate?
I think so.
Yeah, so you'll get it on PC for free. You can
I'm pretty
pre-download it
sure I
now.
have. I'm pretty sure I have Game Pass Ultimate, like the yearly. I normally do yearly payments for my subscription basis,
Well,
just because
you always
it's
save money.
easier. It saves money and it's easier. Like my D&D Beyond subscription was yearly before I canceled it because, reasons. Um, so, I have that for a full year now. I think I have my own uh, Disney Plus that's a yearly basis. It's just so much easier and cheaper.
Yeah, you end up saving money in the long run, but when you first get hit with that, like it's a bigger
It's
hit at first, but
it is a bigger hit in the moment,
you end up
but
saving so much more money.
it saves so much money over time. Like if you do the math, you save more money by getting hit right then and there than getting small hits over and over.
See, I am sad I don't work at Best Buy anymore because when I worked at Best Buy, I went 4.5 years without paying for Xbox Live, just because it was a perk for some of the classes and stuff that I could take to be knowledgeable about my Xbox Live.
Mm-hmm.
That I just got a free year of Xbox Live Gold or Ultimate every single year for taking like a 15-minute educational course about, hey, this is what Xbox Live Gold has. I know because I'm a player.
Mm-hmm.
But I,
So
it
basically, you
hurt.
sit down for a class that you can just not pay attention to. It's like I know all this stuff because I play it.
Yeah, and then it hurt me though when I had to buy when I had to buy gold for the first time. When I was done with Best Buy. Uh, the other one that hurt was oh, what do you call it? I lost my train of thought. That's okay. Yeah, back to multiplayer games. Monster Hunter should be a really fun one, just because that it's just shenanigans, 4-player shenanigans, monster, and there's a lot of what do you call it? Just variety in that game. Like even though you might be grinding a lot, as we're playing a power wash game, talking about grinding.
Yep. And after we're done playing this Power Wash game, I'm going to be playing modded Minecraft, where I'm going to be building a mob grinder. So, more grinding. Because in that, I have an elytra that lets me fly, but I need firework rockets. And for firework rockets, you need paper and gunpowder. So I need to build a creeper farm. So I have gunpowder. I only ever play Minecraft if it's modded now. Ever since I started playing modded Minecraft, I'm like, I can never go back. I have ruined regular Minecraft for myself, and I am okay with that. I always recommend if anyone is ever bored with Minecraft or anything of the sort, where it's like, oh, I don't really like playing Minecraft. It's just a little boring. It's like play mods. I always play modded Minecraft, and I always make sure that the mods that I am using have a quest system. because you can
Gives
get
you
mods
something to
that,
do.
yeah, it gives you direction.
The urinal, now I'm thinking each will contain a different soft drink, allowing patrons to rehydrate after hitting the cubicles. Oh god, it just keeps getting worse, Moros. The other one that I would really like to do, just because I have put way too much time into the game to let it go, I would like to do Elder Scrolls Online. Just
Fair.
because that's a fantastic one.
I've never played the online Elder Scrolls.
It's different to get into it, but once you do, it has a fantastic grind system. The crafting system is very robust. And there's just so much to do. And the PvP in it, I'm not a PvP primary player, I like my dungeons. But the PvP is some of the most unique multiplayer experiences that I've ever experienced in a video game.
We should get you into Final Fantasy 14.
See, I'm just honestly I'm scared of Final Fantasy. If I'm
Why?
being honest, there's
Why?
just so much.
Take it from someone who was scared because of that same reason. There's so much, but you really only need to do some of it. Most of it is not necessary stuff. I will help you through it, and I'm sure there are plenty of people who will too. One of which I know who is in our Discord is Undead.
Oh yeah. Then there's a lot of things. I mean this in the nicest way. I'm not meaning anything by it. A lot of Final Fantasy MMO players, it becomes their personality.
That's fair. That's fair. There are a lot of people like that. Not all of them,
Yeah, not all of them.
but there are some people that are like that.
Pew pew pew. I wasn't trying to shoot you from across the room. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew. Okay, moment of silliness aside. Alright, alright. Where is the one speck of dust on this wall? This cubicle wall. Where is it? I can't find it. It's this wall right here. There's some dirt somewhere on it.
There's also some dirt in the toilet.
No.
Oh, no, that's the washroom wall.
Moros is like, what am I watching right now? As we're going pew pew with the... Oh, I'm moving. I'm moving.
No, you're not.
Man, we're already almost done with this one? Cool, cool.
In a way. We still got some more stuff to do, but we're over halfway there. I'm so confused. Where?
Right? I can't find it.
I've had this glitch on me before where I had to relog in order for it to show. No, I also finished cleaning the toilet of the dirt because it was annoying me. Like, the wall is clean. What are you talking about?
Right, like that's what I was saying.
Got it.
Cool.
I don't know what was there, but there was something that I got. I'm working on the floor because it's annoying me.
I've literally just been doing everything like that I come across, like as I go, just being a completionist.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just keep seeing the floor being dirty, and it's like, I can just get this done really quick, and I'm gonna do it. I actually finished my coffee today. I'm proud of myself. Didn't waste coffee. Because I also remembered that any time that I didn't have to be moving around, I could be taking a sip of coffee.
Right.
So, I didn't just leave it sitting there until it got cold and gross.
See, I'm so used to drinking my coffee cold just because I forget about it so often, but then I'm in the mindset I can't waste it if I made it.
Yeah. What part of the tile floor is dirty? There we go. Tile floor done. Working on the skylight frame.
I've gotten 2 of them so far.
This is a time for the short extension. The turbo nozzle is nice, but every now and then you just need a straight shot. Hold on, I must pause so I can buy the last, the last, skin for the power washers.
Oh, are you almost literally having everything?
I need to get all of the different skins for the player, and that's it. In fact, I think I can buy one right now.
Morris,
Yes.
I'm always making my own sound effects.
Sound effects are fun to make.
They are. It also led to one of my funniest moments as a DM while playing. And one of the most, I would say almost humbling moments too. Because I have a really, really good friend. She is 100% deaf. And she really wanted to play D&D again. So I went to her house and I ran a game for her and her husband. And Emily played as well, just that way we'd have enough people. And I get normally very excited. I explain things with sounds. You can't do that when you got someone who can't hear what sounds you're making and they're reading your lips. And so I was making all these different sounds, making the different things that I normally do while I run a game. And at one point, she stopped me. She's like, "Hey, I know you're making sound noises, but I can't tell what you're doing, and it's really messing up my lip reading." And I'm like, "Oh, that's a really good point." And it was a really cool learning opportunity and quite humbling to be like, "Hey, now I have to make sure I'm being very mindful of what I'm doing with my mouth, what I'm doing with the sounds I'm making." Well, that's the thing is the hand gestures might have been useful, and I usually and I do things all the time where I talk with my hands a lot. But I kept accidentally blocking my mouth with my hands as I was making the gestures, making it harder for her to lip read. And so it was one of those things. I had to be very mindful. I had to like rein myself back in. But we had a really awesome D&D session with that. Everyone walked away wanting more, wanting to play some more. Even her husband, who was like, I don't know what D&D is. I don't really want to play, but I will play because just for you. He's like, when can we play again? And I'm really glad I had that opportunity. I'm still planning on having another time playing there.
I want to play with them. I feel like that'd be so fun.
Emily's character was. I made Emily a character. Her character was Nono the cat.
That's hilarious and adorable.
It was. Her solution for most things was, because at first she didn't want to play. She's like, I pee on it. And then it just became a running joke. Josh, it's doing it again.
Which one?
I can't find it. Did you literally just go in there and click it once and it...
Pretty much. When it does that, you literally just need to be methodical and get every inch of it, and it will eventually get rid of the dirt that you don't see. Stop whipping it around.
More than 2 shakes, you're playing with it.
Stop playing with it.
I thought Honore or Bailey was gonna go after Kelly so bad last night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, we're crossing streams. Yeah, so I'm working, I have to put the edits on it, so I'll hopefully have it up by tonight. It just was really weird. We didn't actually end fully. They got to the final fight, and we called it a little early. Just due to the fact that the final fight has the potential of going for a while knowing this party.
It will most likely take 3 hours. No, that's not true. There is a 50-50 shot that it takes 3 hours or 15 minutes.
15 minutes is being too generous.
You know, that's fair. It is. It would take longer than 50, but you know what I mean.
It's going to be what the dice say.
Yeah.
And based
it's all up to the dice on whether or not it takes 3 hours or like 30 minutes to an hour.
Also, if it takes 15 minutes to take a 6-second turn.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. But you did give us time to think about our preparations that we want to get done.
Oh, absolutely.
For like the turns we have before combat, which we can just quickly be like, I do this and this.
Yep.
Because, you know, for me, it's like I have 2 turns, so I want to do this and this.
I sort of felt bad. Dantalus was so salty that you guys were just teleported right there.
Yeah. Well, he's at 6 health, so I can understand.
No, like teleported right to the adventure because he wanted to go shopping again.
I was just making a joke when I was like, you didn't have my consent to teleport me. I was just making a joke.
Oh, yeah. No, I get that.
Me and Aaron both jumping on that joke immediately of like, you did not have my consent. Consent is important. And then being like, I'm a god, I don't need consent. It's like, no, you need consent. God or not.
That just sounds like toxic deity, isn't it?
Yep. It's starting to sound like a toxic deity. I think I have to break off this relationship.
Multi-purpose, multi-purpose, multi-purpose. Eh. We shall see. We shall see, Moros. I want to see what Schlack's magnificent mansion looks like. So it's very possible.
One of the next characters I make, I want to be able to use that spell because I want to make a magnificent mansion. I've always wanted to. I think the next character I'm going to use is one that I've made before for our previous Thursday friend group that hasn't played in a while, which is
Yeah.
Keedy, my blade singer.
Hmm. I remember Kitty.
I'm not going to reveal too much, just in case, you know, because her concept is very fun. And I'm not going to go into detail about it. I'm just going to let it play out. Because I feel like I do that way too often. Is go into extreme detail about the cool thing that my character does, and I don't let it play out and have the cool factor.
Yeah, it tends to happen.
I
Sometimes.
think that's part of having my ADHD, though, is I get super excited about this thing, and I over-explain.
Yep, that hyperfixation.
I start word vomiting about it. Which some of my characters, it's fine to do with. But others that I want people to be like, oh, that's so cool, I over-explain, and then it loses that moment.
Uh, 88% done.
We still have to get the two stalls that are
Yeah.
behind you. Which shouldn't be too bad if each of us take one of them. These metal steps are easy if you use the turbo.
That's what I'm doing right now. Oh my god, there's a gnome in there.
Yep. There's gnomes everywhere. It's actually a part of the game. Always finding the gnomes.
Washroom wall. Oh, it's right there. Oh, that's funny. It started you in that end and me on the other end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Morris wants to know, is Verne your quietest character?
No, I don't think so. I think I've had characters that are, surprisingly enough, even quieter. I was playing one originally a while ago in the Monday group in Tyranny of Dragons that was very, like, not talking whatsoever. Eventually would talk more, but that ended up falling out, so. due to money constraints with me and the person that my character was basically tied to with, family reasons. And it's like, I cannot play if they cannot, because my character would not stick around at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my character is not confident enough in themselves to stick around. So... yeah, that was Caster. Caster was built to be very lacking any self-confidence. I should pull up the stream so I can actually see the chat. That would be smart. Since the chat is, asking me questions and all.
Yeah. Might be nice.
Yeah.
Also, it adds a different
smart.
view, or an extra viewer to the chat,
Very
so it
true.
makes it more likely for people to join.
All right, I am now looking. I have stream up. I can see chat. Such as it is, because my Twitch is super dumb and constantly reconnects me to chat.
Well, Twitch has just been sort of dumb lately, anyways. Like last night.
No, this has been happening for months now. Like constantly, it will reconnect me. You know how it says whenever you enter a chat room, it says "Welcome to the chat room."
Yeah.
It constantly reconnects and shows me that. I don't know why, and I've looked it up, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is or how to fix it. It's part of the reason I'm hesitant to stream, and I really want to test stream, because it's like, I don't know if this is going to mess with my streaming, because if it does, I need to figure it out, but... So,
One of the hardest things to do from being the forever DM to going to be a player is that mindset of I don't have to answer all of the questions.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
trust me, being a partial DM and a player, when some people ask you questions as the DM, I get the knee-jerk reaction to answer them.
Yeah. And
which I have done, and I apologize for. It's just like my knee-jerk reaction to answer this because I know the answer.
And that's the thing it's that mindset of you have this knowledge, you want to.
I'm trying to help, but I should let you be the DM. I should let the DM be the DM.
I need to remember to actually reactivate that, Moros, when we're doing like the video game streams and stuff like that.
Oh, the sounds.
Yeah. What is... I think my side is done.
I'm having to go over the wall again. There we go.
And now I have Aladdin song stuck in my head.
What song?
I can show you the world.
That's what I figured.
Where is... Cistern Pipes, okay. cubicle walls. Door hinges. I forgot the door hinges. See, that was a good one, Moros. That was a really good one. I wasn't a Lion King. Or Lion King kid. My mom says I was. But I don't ever remember really liking the Lion King. I like the video games that they had. That one was fun.
I hate this gnome. This gnome is in the way.
You can pick it up.
You can pick up the gnome?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could pick up the gnome. Alright, what's still dirty? Cistern pipes.
We have a cubicle wall. So the cistern pipes are the things behind the toilets.
Oh, I see one of them. It's over on your side. It's this one over here. There we go. Got two things over here.
Another cistern pipe.
One more.
A cubicle wall. And light.
It's on the other cistern pipe.
Aha.
Got the pipe. What
Light.
cubicle wall? This one.
Light switch.
And two of the urinals. Got the wall.
Boom. I am
Nice.
so close to buying the next one.
So what you're saying is, partway through the next one, you'll be able to get it.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like your character almost the entirety of the cleanup job. Because the camera started at your direction.
Mm-hmm.
Clean the helter skelter. Oh god, this one looks awful.
Not the worst one. Honestly. There are worse ones. I'm gonna start up top. The worst part about this one is that you have to get all the way to the top, and the slide is a bit meh. But, you know, you can at least climb the slide.
Oh, that's the one that bothered me the most, was the fire hall one, where you had to get the smoke escape tower. That one was tedium.
You can get a lot of this with the green one.
That's what I'm realizing right now, is the green is where it's at.
Come on. The worst one for me, I don't remember which one the worst one was for me, honestly. There's a few of them that were annoying, but I don't know which one was the worst. I see. There we go. Got the flagpole. Being on the top of this thing, I'm still using the stubby extension.
Oh, you were playing this when they were going through two.
Hmm?
Moro says they remember finishing the temple when TOA lost Saveshna and Mugmug.
Hmm.
Oh, these stairs are getting
When
stubborn.
did we lose Saveshna and Mugmug?
I don't think Saveshna's ever died. Mugmug has.
A
Oh, yeah, it was
private
that
scene.
private scene. Yeah, yep. Yeah, in that temp. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
I'm not going to ask questions because it was a private scene. I will leave it as such. Whoops, just fell off the roof.
These stairs are so grimy.
Mm-hmm. How much more money do you need for the urban?
Like 152. There we go. This turbo is cutting through it really quickly. Because I can use the, what do you call it? The green on everything else, but these steps themselves are just being so...
Mm-hmm. You'll always need to use more than just one nozzle.
Oh yeah.
It's just the fact of this game. They made that very true to real life, where you can't just use one tool to finish the job.
But they do give you achievements for doing it.
True.
Like there's an achievement for using only the smallest nozzle for the very first on the truck.
Smallest is in the
The red.
red. The detail one, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't think we've done my favorite mission on this yet.
What's that one?
Um, my favorite was most likely a putt-putt course.
Yeah, I have not seen one of those yet.
Yeah, I think it's one of the later ones. It's fun. It's a little challenging, but it's cool to see the different like going through the putt-putt course, you know?
Yeah.
Seeing this Helter Skelter just makes me think of the Roller Coaster Tycoon game.
Right.
That was a fun game.
So they actually have it on the App Store for Android, and I've actually been playing it.
They do? They have
Yeah,
mobile?
they have Roller Coaster Mobile, but you don't want to do that one because that one's the whole microtransactions. You have to wait before you can do things. That one's
Yeah.
bad, but they have made a full on port for the original Roller Coaster Tycoon. With all of the expansions and everything. I think I got it for like $5 on the App
Nice.
Store.
I'll have to look.
It's so much fun.
I always sucked at it, but I've always sucked at making the theme park. Always ends up failing eventually.
Oh.
I like building my own I like the go-karts. I like building my own go-kart track in that game.
Yes, I did too.
That was always the most fun for me, is just building my own go-karts. Because the stuff you could do with those go-karts, man.
Oh yeah, and then everyone will get mad at you because the go karts are taking so long to get there.
Yes, because it's such a long course. It's like you build the go-kart course that you want to be able to play. Eventually I learned, all right, make a small track, a medium track, and a long track.
See, Moros, I used to play Sim City all the time, but I never played the actual Sims.
Same. I I have SimCity actually
I played
on my
SimCity
computer.
2000 a lot. I never was good at it. I would bankrupt the city within a year. But I always really like dropping robots and everything and natural disasters on.
I have what is it, SimCity 4? Whatever one is one of the most recent one that's on Origin.
Yeah.
And yeah, I suck at it because it's not an easy game.
No, I really like the
Like
game though.
a lot of people assume, oh, that's such an easy game. You're so casual. It's such an easy game. It's like, no, 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 no. That is not an easy casual game.
You know what would be a really fun? It'd be a long stream though.
Hmm.
Game to do. You get everyone in the server that has civilization.
Oh, I would love to play Civ. You would get me. You would get.
I would probably Schneidy. I guarantee Schneidy plays Civ.
Oh yeah,
I
I'm
would
pretty
bet
sure
money
Schneidy
that.
has said. I'm pretty sure Schneidy has said he plays Sim. You would get me. You would get Schneidy. You would get King Lemon, our
Yep.
friend Rob. He's
Oh,
actually
yeah,
said he wants to play Civ with all of us.
yeah, just King Lemon. He very particular on his real name being said on stream.
Gotcha.
Uh but no worries.
Did not know that. Not even
Yep.
sure if that's his full name anyway. I've never been sure about his real name because it's been so shrouded in mystery to me.
Well, to be fair, character names for
That's Very true.
For many, many years. I feel really bad that the Thursday table has sort of fizzled for them. Or for you
Yeah,
guys.
I've
Like, I
I've been
feel directly
very
responsible for
inactive.
that.
Oh, that's not just you. I've been very inactive because I've had to like mute my entire messenger because it's been screwing up. Like I will not get messenger notifications until like hours after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them will send something at night towards evening, and I won't get the notification until like 2 in the morning. It's like, okay, I gotta mute this thing. I gotta mute Messenger. So my Messenger's just being super dumb.
Civ is not a game that you're good at or bad at. It's just you have fun with it. Actually, no correction. You can definitely be good or bad at Civ. Uh,
Yes, you could be very good or very bad at
but
Civ.
it also comes
Civ.
down to two is where the game spawns you. The
Yeah,
game can just choose to hate you in the beginning of the game, and you just have a bad game because you had a bad game.
yeah. There's some luck involved. There's some spawn luck that is needed.
That's why usually I play True Start Earth, and then I choose Australia
Mm-hmm.
because no one spawns there but you. And the hordes upon hordes upon hordes upon hordes of barbarians.
Oh yeah, there's so many barbarians in Australia. Isn't there some settings where you can make peace with the barbarians?
Yeah, they've added new game modes and stuff like that where you have the option. I am 69 dollars away from the next.
So just a few more things completed. Dang it, Ken, now I want to play Civ. Oh, another game we could do is StarCraft.
Yeah. I have a really cool StarCraft Twitch overlay I got that I've been wanting to use.
I'll do the StarCraft multiplayer with you.
Oh, absolutely. The one I
Play my
really want,
Dahaka.
the one I really would like to do right now is League, but Windows 11 doesn't like League.
Doesn't like League. I've never really been into League. I had a
It's
friend try and get me into it once during, funny enough, band camp when
it's
I was
always
in
band
high
camp.
school. Yes. Funny enough, the game would run pretty well at band camp, but when I got home, it wouldn't run. It was really weird.
See,
It was
League
the
is
same computer. It was the same exact computer, just different internet.
that's wild. See,
It's
League is
like
one of
it's
those
interesting
games,
that the internet at my band camp is better.
but right. See, League's one of those games. They made it really easy for anyone to run it. Like they even made it runnable on Mac.
Yeah. I'm getting so close to getting the top panels done.
I'm getting like the middle two panels where I can reach without E.
All the top panels are done. At least they should be. Top door clean. Top frame clean. Top frames not. I'm sorry. What frame? What top frame is not clean?
Probably the slide frames.
No, it's the frames that are around the panels that I'm currently cleaning. Oh, it's the floor one. Got it.
Ba 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 ba.
Getting Rush E stuck in our heads. Why? Again, every time I forget that I can play Spotify. Because my Spotify is not going to play through stream.
Right.
Okay, it's a little too quiet though. Man, I love this song. Song from a project that I found on TikTok called Epic the Musical.
So you were saying, you said there heard you and a couple other people talking about Epic the Musical.
Yeah. The music that they have out already for the first chapter is so good. A lot of it dealing with like Athena.
I seen
The
that
I think the best
yesterday.
one I think the best one is the one I'm currently listening to is Warrior of the Mind. So good. And we sit still as we teach him. If there's a problem, he'll have the answer. He is a warrior of the mind. And that is the most I will sing.
I'm so close to the next. Soap discretion 8 point. This guy's rating my cleaning skills.
Mm.
Jet control 8 out of 10. Knowledge of apertures 9 out of 10. Soap discretion 8.5 out of 10. Stance 9.3 out of 10. Congratulations.
Nice. Moros is saying they're curious what happens when Finn meets his mom.
So based on that whole interaction, I've actually rewritten a part of the book for Finn's mom to fit her into the book in a very flawless way. And I'm excited to see where it's going.
I still plan on forcing you to make an interaction between Kismet and his mom. That is happening. I want resolution for Kismet.
We'll see.
If I have to ask Honoria to use her divine intervention, I will. And you know she'll do it.
Who says you haven't already met your mother?
I'm so confused. Because from what I have been told, I have her name and I know she's human, is what I've been told.
Part of me was just like, because I thought she was Elvish for a minute, just off the top of my head, and I'm like, how funny would it be if Gooder was your stepdad?
I don't know what to feel about that. But no, you specifically told me that she was human, so.
I know. I'm like, that'd just be a funny thing. Like, no, you already met her. It's Fei-Bei. But no, that's not right. Hey, how's it going, Astrum? Or Dave?
What's up? What's up, guys?
Not
Hello.
much, just hanging out, playing some Powerwash Simulator. Yourself?
Not much. Just taking a little break from work.
Not too bad.
Thought I'd come check in on you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Make sure we're staying out of trouble.
That's right. That's right. Or, see if
Moros,
I can,
hashtag mom time for Kismet.
I might even see if I can get into a little trouble with you guys while I was here.
Hey.
We're just,
We're always down for it.
We're just playing some Powerwash Simulator.
That is fantastic.
It's so fun. It's more fun with multiple people, we've found out.
I don't know why it's fun, though. That's the thing. I literally have no inclination of why I like this game.
Is it like one of those like satisfaction things where
Yeah.
just slowly become clean?
Yeah, all you are doing is power washing things.
Nice.
That's the game.
I mean, I love to do that in real life, so I can imagine virtually without all the headache of setting it up and dealing with cleanup and all that is pretty fun.
So we were just talking as you were getting in here about Kismet's mom and the potential of finding Kismet's mom.
Okay.
Not the potential. I have told you. I am going to force you to do this. I will use Honoria's divine intervention if I have to. And she will do it. I know she will.
The absolute certainty of finding Kismet's mother.
And I'm like, wouldn't it be funny? I'm like, who's to say you haven't already met her? And we're sitting there talking like, how does Gooder being your stepdad sound?
Except he's already told me that Kismet's mother is human.
It's human.
Mom was Fei-Bei.
I'm like, that would be hilarious and such a...
It would be hilarious. I don't know how Kismet would feel about it, but it would be hilarious.
Kismet's mom has got it going on.
Oh my god!
If that was the revelation, I'd have to get Gooder to come back for just one session.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Be like, yo, I need you literally just for a bit. I am excited for Thursday because Aaron sounds like he's going to be jumping ship from Tuesday to Thursday with you guys.
Oh, sweet. I was wondering if that was a permanent thing.
He's looking at it, so I'm gonna hold the spot for him if he is serious about it. That way.
Is
He
the other
can't
dude still being? Is he still going to stick around? The guy who was playing
Moriarty.
Moriarty, yeah.
Unfortunately, he had to leave the campaign. He had some family obligations he had to take care of,
Oh man.
and wish him well. Hope his family is doing all right. And anytime he ever wants to come back to one of my tables, he's more than welcome. But it was just an unfortunate. He could not stay in. He had to take care of his family. So
No, I get that. Family has
Yeah.
to come first.
yeah, 110%. Something now that I'm definitely starting to realize more and more by the day. So,
Oh.
Man, am I glad there's no fall damage in this game.
wouldn't that be a jackhole move? Just be like, hey, there's literally no threats in this game, but you can break your ankles falling.
Mm-hmm. Or make it like a Viscera cleanup detail. And you just die and you have to clean up all the blood now.
It's just every time you fall off of a building, it makes it that much harder to
Yeah.
complete the map.
Crime scene power wash.
Oh god, that would be.
That's basically what Viscera cleanup detail is, just without the power washer.
I have not actually seen Calamity for Critical Role. To be fair, I don't watch a lot of Critical Role content.
I know some stuff about Calamity. I didn't watch it. But, you know. I've heard it's good. Very emotional and good.
Oh, wait a minute. Why am I still using this power washer? I can buy a new one now.
Oh, you can buy the good one.
Upgrade.
You can use the one that I'm using.
Power washers. Professional duty. It definitely doesn't look like the Scorpion pistol from Mass Effect.
Oh, wait. It's the Prime Vista Pro.
Yeah.
Now I can use my good one. I could use the second best one, the Prime Vista, but now I can use the Prime Vista Pro. And guess what, Ken? Look at mine. Look at what nozzle I have on.
Oh, God. Ah! Stop it! Stop it!
I have the 3 nozzled straight. The one thing I will say about this
so much
one,
better.
one thing I will say about it is it's loud.
Sounds quieter than the other one. So Dave, you ready for Thursday?
I am ready for Thursday. I was sad I had to miss last Thursday, but I am ready to. I'm ready to get this thing started again.
I am so excited, dude, for Aaron's character that he wants to bring in.
What is what's he? I guess no, I don't want to know. I want to have it to be a surprise.
It's gonna. I'm just gonna say it's gonna mess with Kelly. A lot.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And
Kelly plays such a great obnoxious character. Like I love his role playing. He's so great.
I love
Prince Henry would try the patience of the greatest saint. Like
I want to say Prince Henry and Astroman sitting down in a. Because you'd have the hero worship immediately, and then like hey, well, what about this? Tell me about this experience. Let me write this down. Like, and what you do for this monster?
it'd be like, stop.
Do you know my dad? Do you know my mom? They did this.
I think depending on the mood, it would start costing Prince Henry ales to continue.
The fact that he
Faster.
based that character off of his dog too.
Oh, I love it. I love it
Is-
so much.
Oh, I took off my 3-nozzled thing, and now I can't put it back on
No.
because you don't have access to it.
Oh, someone tagged me in the Discord. Let's see. Ah, cool. Another OGL update.
I'll have to read that later.
Yeah. That's I'm like, I'm gonna read that in a little bit.
That is important.
Yeah, because Kelly tagged both me and Dave in that.
Have you seen the memes where it compares Wizards of the Coast to Jeff Goldblum's character?
I've been dying with those. Those are so funny.
I haven't seen this. What?
I shared it into it's somewhere in the TikTok. Not the TikTok, the Discord. I have shared it.
Is it?
It's in the
Is it in
D&D
the
memes.
The
Yeah.
the D&D jokes.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I have not seen the D&D Thanos Endgame. Meme. My favorite one that I shared was it was an interview with Jeremy Crawford, or it was something like, "Remember, guys, defeat your bosses." And then
I
someone's
just
like-
looked at that one.
Someone's like,
It's Jeremy Crawford. Get out there and defeat your bosses today. D&D Beyond responding, for legal reasons, we feel like we should clarify this means Dungeons and Dragons bosses. And then Jeremy Crawford responding with, I mean what I mean.
man, this new... I'm like on the... This thing's fantastic.
Just wait till you get the extensions for it. Okay, this power washer is a bit loud. Let's turn down my sound a bit.
Oh, that's why my sound is... I've turned it down just to... as habit. For stream ears.
Yeah, there we go. No, still a little too loud. Let's just turn down the master volume a little bit. I also fell off the scaffolding.
Literally, how feral the D&D community has gotten as quickly as it's done.
Oh
Literally,
yeah, you don't mess with the D&D community, and that is what they're finding out.
And then I seen someone found the metrics that the D&D community, just simply based on the D&D Beyond subscriptions, had damaged Hasbro's total revenue by 50% in the matter of days.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a lot of revenue that they have now screwed themselves with because they've damaged their reputation. That's the worst part, is they've damaged their reputation with the D&D community. Even if they fix everything and they apologize, they are not going to get the business they once did.
See, and I'm still interested to see what Kobold Press comes up with Project Black Flag, because Kobold Press does some fantastic stuff. Um, and as long as it's not like as grindy as Pathfinder, like I might consider making that switch.
I was going to ask about Pathfinder. Is it did they ever which version of D&D is closest to the current version of Pathfinder?
So Pathfinder base is 3.5, but more grindy. The current Pathfinder 2 simplifies it a bit more than what it was, but it's still very, very much a grind-heavy system, and it's closer to 5th edition for that edition. But it's still... But that's coming from someone who... This is just from what I've read. I've never played Pathfinder myself to know.
Okay.
If you want all the information for Pathfinder, ask Jaskin.
Okay.
Yeah, our one mod, Jaskin here.
He is the best for knowledge on that. He is well versed.
I played there's a video game based on Pathfinder.
Yeah, the Kingmaker.
Yeah, and it's very grindy. Like,
I keep
didn't know
meaning
if-
to get that, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
It was fun for like a hot minute, and then it was just kind of like, oh, you know, they do the whole thing like it's a dangerous world. You can wander into places you don't belong, but then they don't really like make it like it's so much like the real world where like, oh, well, you took a left turn and ended up into level 20 territory, and you're only level 2, so now you're dead. Congratulations. You want to live that fight again? No thanks.
See, as far as
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say as far as D&D related games go, Solasta and Baldur's Gate 3 are some of the better ones I've played.
Lost is so good.
And those ones run fully off of 5th edition rules.
Man, the PlayStation is just lacking. Like, I was talking to Schneidi about Solasta, and I think it's Xbox only if you're in console.
Yeah.
It's for console, yes. If you do it on PC, you can get it on PC with Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, because you got
Actually,
the PlayStation, right?
Is it on the
Yeah,
Steam
I'm
store too?
a PlayStation guy.
It's on the Steam store, yeah, too.
Solasta? I thought so.
I'm still stuck
Yeah.
playing Diablo 3. Like,
See, I
forgot I had it on my wish list.
have a
Steam.
love-hate. I have a love-hate with Diablo. Like, it was one of the first RPGs I've ever played. And I loved Diablo 1 more than anything until my cousin told my dad that, oh, in this one room, if you walk into it, there's a whole lot of naked women that have been impaled on sticks. And then my dad was like, oh, you've only been playing this every day for the past month and a half, so you can't play it anymore because of this one room in here, and I have to... And so I was really upset with it, but he ended up giving it back after like a week and a half when he realized it was so pixelated you couldn't see anything to begin with.
yeah, it's
Uh,
not much
Yeah.
going on there.
It's like you can vaguely make out what it's supposed to be.
it's feminine in shape. But then, so I never played Diablo 2, just because I just never had the ability to play it, because I didn't have a computer that could play it. But then I got Diablo 3, and it was so far removed from the original Diablo, like, playstyle. I never really beaten it. I recently went back and I played through it, and I loved it. The problem is, though, is it killed one of my Xboxes.
Oh,
Like, I was literally playing it on the Xbox. I loaded in, got in an area full of fire. the Xbox literally bricked and wouldn't turn back on again. Granted, literally
okay.
nothing to do with that game. Absolutely nothing to do with the game. It's just the Xbox decided it was its time. But just the fact that it
Moros.
died.
Sorry, I just saw this in chat because Moros just posted it, and it's so funny. You could draw 2 circles and a triangle and still be more suggestive.
Right? The 90s pixelated. You are absolutely right.
That's so funny.
I am super excited for Diablo 4 though.
Oh, I am too.
Because they're saying they're going back to more of the traditional style of Diablo while keeping the parts that everyone loved about Diablo 3. So I'm excited to see what that ends up looking like.
There's something like there's something so satisfying after a stressful day of just sitting down and mindlessly button smashing and hack and slashing. And that's what I think I
Right.
love about Diablo 3 is, you can set it at just the right difficulty where it's not easy but it's not hard, and then you can just plow through everything, and it's just a good time.
Yeah. See, that's how I felt about, and I still feel about that way with Elder Scrolls Online. It's one of those games that it's a very good game to just sit down and relax to, because the game's not terribly difficult if you don't do the difficult content dungeons and stuff like that. And the combat system is just that, button mashing in a specific order once you get your rotations down.
You know what game you've just described? Final Fantasy 14 Online. That's all you do is you mash your rotation buttons. Every now and again, switching it up, because there's like, oh, I can use this ability. And then you can't use that ability for like 2 minutes.
All right. So question, what Final Fantasy did you guys first fall in love with?
Final Fantasy 14. It is the only one I've played.
Really?
So mine is I've never played a Final Fantasy game.
Really? Oh my gosh.
At this point, they're up to what, 16, 17?
Yeah, I mean at this point they're like 29,000.
There's a ridiculous amount of answer.
For me, at this point, it's like I'm almost intimidated to start because I don't know what I missed with the games.
With Final Fantasy 14, it's basically you just need Final Fantasy 14. You're not missing out anything by not playing any other Final Fantasies.
I love the concept of the Final Fantasy games, but they're just one of those things that I just never sort of.
So the first one I ever played, and I fell in love with it, and I think it was really my gateway to RPGs. That and another old game was Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo.
I love the Super Nintendo.
I played the heck out of that game. I mean, just days of my childhood invested in Final Fantasy 3. And the bad guy of that one was this absolute madman named Kefka, and he was a delightful villain. It was just such a good game. It had a little romance aspect. It had kind of an end of the world scenario. Like there was an airship, all on Super Nintendo graphics. Like it was
back in that era.
Yeah. Very, very cool game.
Hello, Forsaken Renegade. Welcome to the chat.
Yeah, welcome. See, what got me into RPGs was, it's actually Jask, and one of my oldest friends. his dad had this huge projector screen down in his basement. He had this home theater, and Jas calls me over. He's like, "Dude, I just got an Xbox 360. You have to come over and try this game that I got." And I'm like, "Okay." And so I go over to his house, and it was Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and
Man, I really need to go back and play Oblivion.
I was hooked to the point of my I ended up bogarting my buddy's TV for an Xbox for like 3 days just to play this game on I think it was 105-inch projector screen. So like the characters were like real life size, or a little larger than real life. And it was so fun and so refreshing. And I'm just like, first off, I was a gamer before that. Like I played Pokemon, I played all like the Super Marios, all that stuff. But that was like what got me into like the actual like Western style RPG stuff, and I just could not get enough of it. Oh, can I buy no?
Can you buy an extension?
That's not looking right now.
I don't think I can move the scaffolding because you're too close to it. That's the Prime Vista. You're looking for the Pro. You were looking at Prime Vista extension.
I know that now. Power washers. Info. I can buy the short extension. And the turbo. Bada bang. Starting screen. Oh.
Why are you on the starting screen?
I hit F1 apparently because I have hotkeys set for.
Interesting. Maybe when you hit escape.
Yeah, I was trying to hit escape to pull up the menu. I hit F1. Sorry about that, everyone. It should be back to the game chat, I think. I hope.
And sorry about that.
Instead of your face, it's showing the Discord call.
You're totally good. Oh, do I have? Oh yeah, I forgot about the. There we go. There we go, fixed. Yeah, no worries there, Dave. We have, alright, we are 99% done with this thing. Nice. Don't know what the last bit is, but I just hear chink,
a bunch
chink,
of it.
chink, chink.
I'm getting like the last bits probably. Oh, maybe not. Lights. Can you not? Trying to see which lights are not clean.
Oh, that game already came out, and I've been meaning to download it. I've actually have it on my Xbox, and I totally forgot to re-download it onto the computer. So I'll do that actually tonight, and I'll probably stream some of that tomorrow, because that game, talk about a fun game. Metal Hellsinger. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. I streamed the beta out of it, or the demo of it, a few months ago. It has so you're going through the layers of hell, and each layer of hell has a different metal track made, written and sung by a different prolific, award-winning metal singer in actual real life. So like one of them is the lead singer of Arch Enemy, another one is the lead singer of Trivium, Lamb of God's Randy Blythe is in there, a whole lot of just awesome big name, and it's so good. Definitely going to be streaming some of that soon, because it won't highlight anything for me whenever I try.
All right, everyone. I have to bid you all adieu. I've got a meeting I got to go jump on. It sounds fantastic.
Have so much fun.
Hey, thanks for stopping by for a bit, though.
Yes,
yeah, thanks for hanging out.
It was a good time. I'll be on the lookout for more hangouts.
Yeah, absolutely. Where's that last 1%? Alright, there's that. Ah, there they are.
Mm-hmm. Get on the slide. My character just wouldn't get on the slide. Alright, what else needs? Signpost.
Signpost?
Second tier. Yes, signpost. One of the signposts is on the sign. It was the top of the signpost. I'm going to go up to the 4th floor panel. That's 5th.
Hey, Josh. It said I could grab it.
Yes, doesn't mean you can put it down.
I have.
Would you take that down? I'm actually gonna need that, thank you.
Alright. Third tier ring frame. Some of these panels are not fully clean.
Oops, I just fell. I got the 4th floor, or the 5th floor. Now I need to get the 4th floor and 2nd. I will look to the 2nd. Oh, I was gonna say, how the 2nd floor one's not clean, but it's because it's next to the stupid face at the front. Got the second floor.
Aha, that's the one. Boom, bada, bing.
Nice.
I love
What's the
seeing
next one we get? The
That's a
time
good
lapse.
question. Yeah, I love the time lapse.
I have to watch it on the stream because it doesn't show on mine.
Oh, the private jet.
Mmm. Not a horrible one. A little annoying, but also if you look, there is a laser on the bottom.
Ah! Figure do this one real quick and then call it.
Mm-hmm. You got frustrated by the plane, Moros? That's true. There are many small pieces that could get annoying.
Sweet onion, Vidalia. Sweet onion, Vidalia. Vidalia, Vidalia. Sweet onion, Vidalia for me. If I get copyright for that song, I'm going to be talking to my uncle.
I couldn't even tell what song you were singing.
It's a song called Vidalia Sweet Onions. It's like a folk song. My uncle ended up writing it back in the 60s, 70s, or my great uncle, 60s, 70s. I'm like, if I get copyright on this, I'm gonna be calling up my uncle like, hey, yo, what you doing?
Why you copyright my stream? Uncle trolls you via copyright strike.
The client's name is Blake Thrust.
That's not the name that I'd want to have.
No. That's my concern, not the laser. No, my concern is should I be using high water pressure on a laser like this?
It's not turned on.
No, it's very clearly turned on. Do you see this light? That's
So-
this thing is on and ready to fire light.
It's just radioactive. That's why it's glowing.
Equally as concerning.
What? No, a little radiation poisoning on a bird. Stupid Samsung
You already
constantly
watched.
telling me.
I already washed the navigation system, so. Also, I don't think I should be standing right in front of the laser to clean it out.
No? You don't think that's a good idea?
Well, the laser's clean now. This one's taking longer than I thought.
I mean, it's not a tiny plane. At least most of it is coming off with the green for now. An anti-gravity booster. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Open my phone for a second to have a video start playing in my face.
Oh, I do hear Emily up, so honestly, I think I'm going to call the stream here. We can always pick back up, because I'd like to spend some time with her before D&D tonight.
That's fair. Can I just finish this wing real quick? I'm almost done.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm so close to finishing this wing. Wing done.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Moros, for being very active in the chat today. Big thank you to Dave for jumping in the hangout. And you guys have a good night, and we'll see you all tonight for Midweek Midgard. Take it easy, everyone, and see you later.